I gave my life to Christ the summer before I started high school. And I spent that summer getting to know God, reading the scriptures, and so on. So when I started school in the fall, it was very much a God thing for me. I sensed God's presence with me in the classroom and in my extracurricular activities, but I also got anxious to prayer. Specifically, prayers about those things, about my homework, about my extracurricular activities, and so on. So I was very surprised when I started reading biographies or listening to the testimonies of other Christians that their stories of how God worked in their lives, it almost seemed like a different genre to me, because their stories were very religious compared to mine. They were stories about church and about converting other people and so on. But it was all just religious stuff that they seemed to share with God. Whereas my experiences were very secular by comparison. My experiences of God were answers to prayer about my homework and about my interactions with my fellow students and my teachers. This has been something that I've seen more and more throughout my life, that it is not very common for you to hear a Christian talk about their testimony of God in secular life. That's why I've devoted my life to this issue, because it has been the way that I've found God in my life, through the secular experiences that God and I have shared. I meditate on the story of life when I pray. I try to think about the fact that God is not just a God of religion, but is a God of all of life, that God is part of all of our secular activities. I do that for a reason. I do it because in my own experience, that's what I've found God to be. I believe that we limit God unintentionally, but we still do it. We limit God to the religious things in life. So we pray about the things that we think God will be interested in. We don't consider that God might be interested in the day-to-day stuff of our lives. So what we unintentionally do is shut God out from the details of our day-to-day lives, from the story of our life. I believe that that's a mistake. And I've devoted my life to trying to help people to be aware of the fact that we're doing it and to try to counteract that. I challenge you to, if you have not already done this, to start praying about the story of your life, to start thinking about the secular things you do all day and all week, and pray about it. Ask God to take charge of these aspects of your lives and not just the religious aspects of your life. And watch what happens. See if it doesn't make a difference. If it does, I'd like to know about it. Give me a comment on my site and let me know what kind of experience you had.